We're in Chicago for the Conference of Grandmasters of North America, and our cameras are here experiencing the sights and the sounds of this amazing city. From the L train to the beginning of Route 66, we're here talking with Masonic leaders from around the country and around the world here at the Conference of Grandmasters in Chicago. Worshipful Brother Robert Johnson, Whence Came You podcast host, one of the Masonic content OGs. First of all, I think it's been like 10 years since we were in the same space together.
It's probably been that. I think we were in your office at the House of the Temple.
Really good to see you. I know you've been very busy with the Conference of Grandmasters here. Thank you for the Chicago hospitality. It's been fantastic.
Wonderful.
So I don't want to waste time with the normal Masonic stuff. So I want to do hot takes.
Okay.
This is strictly our opinion, my opinion, not a Scottish Rite opinion, and this is Brother Johnson's opinion. So we represent no one, just ourselves.
All right.
Agreed? All right.
Agreed.
One-day classes, good or bad?
Bad.
Bad overall, why?
I think they're bad in the terms of letting a brother feel like it's for him. They are good in some respects. You know, you get a lot of guys who might say something like, the degrees in Masonry are based on ancient degrees and rites. And, well, the bad news for those guys in their argument is, of course, that, you know, if you want to look at something like the rites of Eleusis or Mithras, there's a crowd. There's a crowd who watched an exemplification of a play. No different than a one-day class. So in that aspect, you know, it's good. But also, we can't throw away the idea that a one-day class Mason isn't going to become active or do stuff, because that is absolutely not true.
Agree. I'm at a day and a half Mason, to be honest. When I was initiated with 17 people, but they did the ceremony individually. And then after I was entered apprentice, my fellow craft and Master Mason degrees were at our Grand Lodge. So luckily I had a lodge that really engaged me. I think, one-day Masons, we can't turn our nose up at them because they had no say in how they were brought in. They don't know what they don't know. What are they going to say? I don't want to be a one-day. They don't even know what that is when they come in the door. So we can't discriminate against that. We can't say, you know, be snobby about that, because it's about what happens once you're in the door. That's most important. That said, it's not ideal. Obviously, the ideal way would be to go through all 3 degrees.
Well, it's a modification we have allowed because we have some issues sometimes. So,
what does a good past master do?
Listen.
Oh, that's a good one. I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say shut up.
Well, it's one and the same things. If we're listening, we're not talking.
Good point. Catch a bubble, past masters. Catch a bubble. Pendant bodies. Here's the question.
Yep.
And I obviously, full disclosure, everybody knows I work for the Scottish Rite channel. How long should a Master Mason wait before attaching to an appendant organization?
It's a really good question. I would say 10 years ago, I would have told you wait a year. I think today there are a number of lodges who have wonderful working relationships with appendant bodies, blue lodges that are being formed at Scottish Rite temples, or organizations like you might have a particular lodge that is chartered within a Shriners organization. And so what those are doing is we have to understand that we need to let the Mason go to where he is most interested and finds the most value for himself, where he can be active in the craft. So I think I would love to see a 1-year hiatus, but I wouldn't be locked into it. You know, a brother's got to go where he can put in the work that makes the craft better for him.
That is my answer. It is that you have to find the thing that speaks to you the most, whatever that is, whether it's riding a little car in a shrine parade, or whether it is, working to become a venerable master somewhere. Whatever speaks to you, that's what you should do. We had a
brother. I was talking to a guy here in Illinois, a guy named Mark. Mark told me that his oldest was not going to join the fraternity, and then he went to a Shriners event, and he said, "What's with the clowns?" And he said, "Wait, all I have to do is become a Master Mason and I can do a clown thing?" And he said, "Yeah." He's a fellow craft now. So
memorization and strict memorization, is it helping us or hurting us?
I would say it has the benefit of keeping us locked in. The bad part about it is that we've taken to recitation instead of a performance. So I would much rather see a performance that impacts right? A theatrical impact to give a candidate an experience, and even the sideliners an experience to say, hey, I go to this because it's awesome to watch every time. Like, people went and saw Hamilton 1,000 times. In the same respect, you've got Masons who could watch the Second Degree 1,000 times. It's about the experience that you're putting on. And so memorization is required as a part of the performance. Now, of course, you know as well as I do that there's probably times where we get hung up on a word and we improvise.
I do it all the time. Drives people nuts.
It drives people nuts, but you know what? That drove the performance forward, and they'll still remember that. They're not going to remember. The candidate isn't going to know that you said a instead of the.
Yeah, but he might get clued in when the lecturer on the sidelines, in convulsions because he said trigger. I tend to agree. I think the way you put it, a performance instead of a recitation, is brilliant, which is why you're the OG. I look at it precisely the same way. I take it one step further. We need to make sure that we understand what we're saying.
Oh, yes.
There are people who are repeating words. They have no idea what they are, what they mean, whether it's Masonic tradition, which means a lie, or whether it is, that was my Grandmasters. I'm stealing Most Worshipful Randy Watson's quote. He said, whenever you hear the phrase Masonic tradition informs us, just know the next thing you're going to hear is a lie. But like, for instance, this is web work. This isn't secret. Pythagoras sacrificed a hecatomb. First of all, no, he didn't. And second of all, what's a hecatomb? And I will guarantee you, 99 out of 100 Master Masons have no idea.
It's like a 100 head of cattle or something?
It's 100 head of cattle, yeah. And he didn't do that because he was a vegan, so he wasn't killing anything. But he also didn't say eureka, but let's not get hung up on
Archimedes.
the details. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think when we insist on memorization, I think we also need to insist on understanding, because that's going to close the loop.
Well, it closes the loop in more ways than one. It not only allows the person who's learning the ritual to sort of embody it and put it inside and use it, but it also enables him in terms of performance. If he knows what that meant, but he can't remember the word, he can say something like it. So on all levels, I agree.
Last one. Dues. Too high, too low.
I just think they have to be, the dues have to cover, take the total number of brothers, what it costs to run the lodge, add 20%, split it amongst them. In most cases, you're going to find that that's going to be expensive. They're going to be more expensive. Yeah. And that's only to say that there's no nice way to put it. Well, we've just kept them artificially low for too long.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Did.
Like if we were the U.S. government, you go to the store and you buy a gallon of milk and it costs you $3. Well, it costs us $3 because the government subsidizes the cost of milk, right? So they pay the farmers and we get a little break. Now, is Grand Lodge subsidizing anybody's dues and making up the difference for what we should be getting? No. So we don't have that luxury. We need to charge what it costs.
Charge what it costs. And we've built these temples to ourselves that require maintenance, and we thought we would always grow, and so we don't have to raise dues this year. Honestly, there should be a little bump most years, but now all those little bumps that we didn't do are adding up, and our dues are no longer paying to keep our buildings in good repair. And unless you have some specific connection to the fraternity, or you're really esoterically minded or civically minded maybe, why are you going to want to go sit in an old building with no air conditioning and wood paneling and no Wi-Fi?
The dollar loses, 3% a year on average with CPI, inflation, all those kind of things. So put $1 under your pillow tonight, and tomorrow or next year it's 75 cents. And the same thing has happened to dues over and over and over again. We just have to, if we care about Masonry, I think John Ruark, Masonic Roundtable guy, right?
Yeah.
He's often said, why don't we just charge $1 a day? But even charging it $1 a day, $365 for dues might, for some guys, really hurt.
I made the mistake of becoming a trustee of the lodge at one point in time, and we needed more money, and so the dues discussion comes up. So I did a whole PowerPoint. I'm going to razzle dazzle them, and I say, in 1990, gas was this, which was the last time they raised dues. Gas was this much, milk was this much, and lodge dues were this much. And now here, I think it was 2015. Now gas is this much, milk is this much, and the dues have not changed. You don't. You guys don't see a problem with that, man? Like, just, I'm a musician. I can count to exactly 4, 6, 8, 6 if it's a waltz. But I mean, we got to raise the dues, and I know there are a lot of people who say no, you're going to push people out. But if we're giving it away cheaply, then people are going to think of it that way too.
Yeah.
We're sending a message, I think.
I think, well, there's some to that. I think number one, don't fall into the pit trap of thinking that skin in the game equals what the person's going to keep coming. I have guys who pay $412 a year in dues, and they still don't go. They still don't come to lodge. They just pay the dues. So with that stated, we just have to be mindful of, number one, if you're out there thinking, I'm not going to raise the dues because guys will leave, they won't. Yeah. Like if you have 180 members, I just raised the dues literally 2 months ago. We went up another $60.
If that happened in my
left.
lodge, there would be pitchforks and torches, and we'd be driven out of town.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Nobody left. I did get one letter that said, I wonder what other lodges are charging. I might have to find a new lodge. And I said, well, here is what other lodges are charging, but it's hard not to see the value in it if you're not coming. And so there is that.
Amen. Robert Johnson, the Whence Came You podcast. What do you got going on, man? First of all, I got to tell you, I'm going to fangirl for a minute, which I know you're not going to like, but your consistency at putting product out constantly, always something interesting, always great thoughts to share as you've just done with us. I mean, I've always been a fan of your work, which I've told you in the past.
Yeah, thank you.
And I always like when we get the chance to chat, but we're both, ships in the night a lot of times. But
busy man.
What do you have going on right now, either Masonically or not? Like, what's up with you?
Just producing episodes. I got done
Man,
doing.
I don't know how you seriously. I'm like, I see him come out. I'm like, that dude's a machine.
Yeah, just boredom, right? High functioning obsessive
That's not the
compulsive
truth.
disorder.
That is a lie.
Yeah.
That is a Masonic tradition.
I can't. Part of it is a cognitive condition. I have high functioning obsessive compulsive disorder, so I'm always going. I got to do something, or otherwise I'm going to go berserk, which is bad for maybe me, but good for the fraternity. Anyway, just did a talk here at Conference of Grandmasters, educational talk. So huge thanks to our Grandmaster Joe Farrell, who has been a great host.
To all the Illinois Masons, it has been fantastic.
Yeah, we got to walk around in our bright yellow minion shirts. It was really cool. Hopefully, you guys all had your Giordano's deep dish,
We did.
Your Italian beefs and stuff. As far as things were going on, you got some sort of philosophical-minded brothers out there who go to Virginia, go to Manasseh Lodge Esotericon this year. It's a Rosicrucian theme, so we're going to have a lot of really cool speakers.
I'm a wise master this year, so maybe I'll have to.
You got to come out.
Check that out. Yeah. So, you're always doing something and always serving the craft. So thank you for all of us
Likewise.
who benefit from it. And listen, man, I'm just trying to avoid a real job, which is what I've always done. You're doing it for the love of the game, but I so appreciate everything. So, but thank you. I'm sorry to Benja. He just gave a whole talk, and I literally pounced on him as he walked out the door. So
okay,
it's all right. But I appreciate you so much, brother. Thank you.
Man, thank you. Love
We've
you,
got
man.
more from the Conference of Grandmasters here in Chicago.